Okay, I'm continuing. Verse 7 in chapter 15. Oh no, it's chapter 16. We changed down here. And thou shalt roast and eat it in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. And thou shalt turn in the morning and go unto thy tents. 6 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to the Lord thy God. Thou shalt do no work therein. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn. Harvest time. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Lord thy God, with a tribute of a freewill offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Lord thy God, according as the Lord thy God has blessed thee. Now, the way I do it is sharing it with people that I find out there that are in the need. That's how I give to God. I don't go to a church and suck all kinds of money into that church, because I don't agree with those people say. They preach when you die, you go to heaven. Your soul goes to heaven. Now, your soul is all of you. When God created man, God says, it's written in the book here, and God breathed into man the breath of life, and man became a living soul. He didn't build man and then stick a soul in him that's going to go up there. The part that returns unto God is the Spirit. The verse says, and the Spirit returns unto God who gave it. That's the life that he breathed into man. When he created all the other things, all the animals and everything that has life, he does not say he breathed into them, the lions and the elephants, the breath of life. The breath of life is the Spirit of God, which resides in you. Know ye not that your body is the temple of the living God? That's another verse. Hey, I could go on and on about that. But hey, man, I got to get going here. And thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you, in the place which the Lord thy God hath chosen to place his name there. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt. That's where he was a slave. And thou shalt observe to do these statutes. Talking about the commandments and statutes. If you do them, you find God. Diligently search for God, and you will find him if you're doing it for the right reason. Well, you could be doing it for the bad reason too, and he might stand in front of you and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Huh?" Paul met him when his name was Saul. He was on the road to Damascus. I think it was Damascus. He was going to kill the Christians. Put them in bondage, put them in jail, right? And who did he meet on the road? Jesus. And Paul, I think, was a Pharisee, and he did not know God. You read that account in one of the Gospels. You read that. Oh, man. Maybe it was in the book of Acts. Yeah, the New Testament. You read that stuff. Thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine. And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates. Now, we're talking about gates here. If you got a gate, you must have some kind of a wall, huh? Back in them days, they built big, safe walls to keep the evil out. All the people that wanted to destroy your town or where you lived, your ranch or something. Donald Trump wants to build the wall along our southern border. And who is against it? All the demon craps. All the evil people in America that have come in illegally and allowed in by the Democrats. Huh? Schumer, Pelosi, all that. Oh, I could name some names, but I pick on those two right there because, boy, they are full of the devil. They are evil. California is evil. Several weeks ago, it was burning. Today, it's being destroyed by a rainstorm. Huh? You go from praying for rain to stop the fire to praying to stop the rain because it's going to cause a mudslide and destroy your house, huh? It's California, baby. California. And listen to those people talk on those television programs, those award-winning programs that auditoriums filled with all evil, all manner of evil. These people got millions of dollars, and they're unhappy. They're terrible people. Hollywood. Ooh, there's a few good ones. There's a few. 7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord shall choose, because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice. Be happy. 3 times in a year shall all the males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. You got to bring a gift. Whoa, let's see what this is. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee. You're a rich guy, you're going to do something cool. If you're a poor guy, well, listen to what happened in the synagogue, the New Testament. Everybody was bringing their gifts, right? All the rich people were putting it in. And this little old lady walked up there and put in what they call a mite. That's the smallest or the least valuable of their coins at that time. I assume. I have that written down in here too. I can read that. And Jesus said, of all the stuff that everybody gave, this woman here who gave the tiniest amount gave the most because she gave of her need. She needed it for herself, yet she was willing to share it with someone else who needed it. Huh? I heard on TV a couple weeks back where this rich guy, one of them, I think he was a football player. He donated a whole bunch of money and stuff. He got patted on the back for what he did. He should have done it in secret. Because when he did it openly and he was accepting all this pat on the back stuff, God didn't honor that. That's not cool. I can tell you how to do some stuff. I do it. Boy, I feel comfortable too. But nobody pats me on the back. Nobody but Jesus. That's what's important. All right, let's see. Ooh, now we're going to talk about judges and judgments. We're in the book of Deuteronomy, and we're in chapter 16. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment, righteous judgment, the right way. They shall judge the right way, honestly. That's a commandment of God. We got judges in America. Demon craps, man, liberals. Not good. They're going to get this. Thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift. For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous. Self-explanatory, isn't it? That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live, and inherit the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Now, do you figure God gave this America to us Americans, huh? And what are you doing? We got perverse judgment going on. If we did it the right way, God would bless us and the land. But he's not doing that. It's burning, among other things. Thou shalt not plant thee a grove of any trees near unto the altar of the Lord thy God, which thou shalt make thee. Now he's talking to the Israelites here. He ain't talking to us Gentiles. Neither shalt thou set thee up any image, like you see in the Catholic Church, which the Lord thy God hateth. Huh? Got an itch back here. I think I got bit by something. All right, this is the last segment that I'm going to do. Ooh, injunctions. You know what an injunction is? Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto the Lord thy God. In other words, you don't wrongfully do something expecting good to come of it. Because it ain't going to happen. It says it right here. If there be found among you, within any of thy gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God, in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun, or moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded. That's the astrologers and all that kind of stuff, and the people that follow them. We're going to get into that too. Maybe I should keep reading here. Oh, this is exciting. And it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die. A lot of people deserve death. God says so. Not me. That's not my words. I don't do any of that stuff, and I'm telling you not to do it. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or 3 witnesses, shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. but at the mouth of one witness he shall not be put to death. In other words, it's really got to be true. The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So thou shalt put the evil away from among you. Wow. That's meaning the jury has to go out and kill the people that they say, yeah, execute him. Ooh, he's guilty. Wow. The hands of the witnesses shall be first. Woo. And that's how you get rid of the evil. The people that are doing the evil. You know, the stone or all the statues, they're not evil. They do nothing. It's the people that build them and worship them. That's where the evil is. It's not in the stone or the statue. That's nothing. They can't hear, they can't walk, they can't spit, they don't need a toilet. If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou arise and get thee up into the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. And thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment. And thou shalt do according to the sentence, which they of that place which the Lord shall choose shall show thee. And thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee. And according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee, to the right hand or to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die. And thou shalt put away the evil from Israel, and all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. Whew. Talking about crooked lawyers here. Wow. Choice of a king. Let's see if I can get this in. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. All right. I could talk about that for a while too, but that's it for tonight. I'm going to do some talking with myself here for a few minutes. I'm going to go to bed. Let's see what time it is. Oh, it's early tonight. I'll be in bed by midnight. God is good, man. I gotta finish this. I love doing this. Please share this word with as many people as you can. Good night.